Hi guys, this is Bella from Unlock Your Design, and I had this idea of making a horoscope based on the gene keys for each day in the week. And we're already Monday night as I'm recording this, so I'll probably do Monday and Tuesday as one energy, and maybe also tell you a little bit about the theme that I have seen for this week. So the theme that I'm seeing is that it's a week of breaking patterns and also a constructive course correction. Why am I saying that? Well, we have the sun here in Sagittarius and in Gene Key 9, very close to Venus and Mercury, also in Sagittarius and in the codering of light. So the codering of light 9, 5, 26, and 11 has to do with more light wanting to come through our bodies, through the densest part of us, like cracking through, and being able to hold that higher frequency, that light in the body. And at the same time, I've already mentioned this, if you've been on any of the community calls, any of the lives that I've done for the last few days, we have had Jupiter stationing and going direct in Aries. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, and it's going direct here in a fire sign, which is also Sagittarius, a fire sign, and it's the first sign of the zodiac. And it's very much about impulse, about forward direction, about that kind of masculine penetrating energy. And it just goes without thinking too much about it. And then maybe if it goes wrong, or if somebody, steps on somebody's toes, it kind of has to apologize after, but it's not stopped. So having this big planet that has to do with expansion, with optimism, Jupiter going into Aries after having been retrograde in Pisces for several months, that's a lot of energy forward. So I believe that it's definitely a week where we're going to feel that forward moment, that energy. And I would say, you're going to hear when I speak about further on in the week, I think that especially we're going to feel that as the moon is moving on and coming into Aries, and the moon is staying for 2.5 days in each sign. So it's not going to be until a little bit later in the week. And what I wanted to do here is to also show you the gene key chart and actually use that as a horoscope, which I think is really, really interesting. So already by just looking at the astrology in this list, we know that the life's work, or the main archetype this beginning of the week, is going to be gene key 9, that goes from inertia to determination to invincibility. So I'm using genetic matrix. I'll put a link for you as well. And here in genetic matrix, we can just shift between different charts, human design, gene keys, and astrology. And that's exactly what we do in Unlock Your Design. We weave those systems because they are based on the same astrological wheel. So here, what we are looking at in the very beginning of the week, it's a 1-3 profile. And that means that it is about a bit of that inner investigation still, and also a kind of experimentation. So a little bit the week is starting in this kind of individual energy. The 1-3 profile is the only completely personal profile. And I think from the beginning of the week, we're asked to look at relationships and be like, okay, what is it in relationships that is a bit corrupted, that isn't completely in harmony? So we're asked to look at that because you can see that for many days of this week, we're going to have our core stability is going to be connected to this channel of community. So how are we feeling in our family, in our tribe, with the people around us? That's very highlighted. And as we feel good in our family with the people that support us, we're also going to be able to be grounded, to feel home in our body. And that's why it's highlighted. How are our relationships? Are they in harmony? Are they not in harmony? And I want to go right away actually to Tuesday so that we can look at, as I'm recording this, what is the energy that's shifting from Monday to Tuesday. So here you see we have a 2-4 profile, which is much more about what's natural for us, what's effortless. So Tuesday, hopefully you're going to watch this Monday night or Tuesday, it's to wake up in the morning and be like, okay, how can I walk through this day feeling fulfilled, feeling natural, feeling like a dancer, dancing my dance? Very important. And it's not about the whole day. The 9 is very much about one step, like the first step of any project, of any endeavor, of any journey. It's the most important because that's where you put that life energy into motion. And, when there's inertia, when there's procrastination, that's the whole thing. You can't take that first step. There is so much resistance in you. But here's really asking you, what's a natural first step? What's the first step of your dance? And then it's going to be so much easier once that life force is put in motion. And also, whatever that you're doing, how can you identify with that? That's the 16. How do you identify with something? So it's like easy to kind of repeat it, to get better, to even achieve mastery with that. That's the energy that we're going to have for the next 3-4 days. You see, we're in the second line, there's 6 lines in each hexagram, and there's 1 line per day. So it's an energy is going to be with us that, like we said, the determination, the inner determination that sets our energy in motion of the 9. And then you can see as well on Tuesday, we still have this channel of community. Who is around you? Do they support you? What's the possible interference in your relationship? So we saw that we had the 50 in the attraction sphere, which is the cornering of the Illuminati. And then we have the 44, still the cornering of the Illuminati in the attraction. So definitely to see, when you have teamwork, when you have equilibrium with the people that are around you, then, you can break through anything. Anything is possible. You are illuminated from the inside. So really to look at that in relationship. How can you bring teamwork? How can you bring more harmony? How can you be the maestro in the people that are with you, creating with you? And then a little bit just kind of zooming out in a bigger sense, because this is going to come with us in the week, because the outer planets are not moving that fast. So we definitely see that here we have a conjunction with the evolution and the core wind vocation. So we are asked here to look at what can we heal in ourselves where there has been denial, and especially here in relationship, when we didn't want to use the other as a mirror, when we were denying something that actually, if we would just dare to look, it would have been quite evident. We're daring to look at places where there has been denial, using the other person as a mirror to get to know ourselves better. And we are also including the heart. Very important to not be half-hearted. Whoever is in front of you this week is the most important person. Whoever is in front of you in any moment, every moment is the most important person. So whatever you do it with your whole heart. Do it with intent. Do it with your breathing, because that's also what's going to ground you. And the last thing I'm going to do here is to move us back to the astrology chart for Tuesday to just see, especially where the moon is, because the moon is important in the sense that it's connected to our emotional waters. And as we are an emotional organism as humanity, we have 50% of human beings that have emotional authority, but 50% that have open emotional center. And these 50% are amplifying the emotional climate, we could say, or waves of the emotional people. So that means that the moon is very important, because it's going to kind of tell us the subjective experience that we're going to have of things, depending on where the moon is in the chart. So we're going to see that for Monday and Tuesday, the moon is in Aquarius. Aquarius has to do with the future, the Aquarian age. It's to think outside the box, maybe new solution. We'll also see like kind of larger groups or interests where you are feeling into with other people, that like the interest that you have in common, the vision that you have in common. Really good days for doing that. And then we have here communication, we could say, with the moon and Saturn on Tuesday. So I definitely feel like there can be insights here, and you want to listen to your intuition. And I would say maybe don't act, just kind of let it simmer. Whatever comes through, whatever you see, could have to do with like old things where you have felt a bit limited, where you felt a bit reactive. The moon has to do with emotional reactions. The 49 is the shadow of reaction. So I think there can be some patterns here in relationship that had linger, where you can get insights about them, and instead of just like acting on them, let it kind of calm, because emotional authority, it's about waiting until you have emotional clarity. So whatever kind of triggers or comes up or shows itself to you through insight, intuition, even dreams, I would say here, don't necessarily act on it right away. Sleep on it, and then I feel like it's going to be much more integrated in whatever you decide to do. So digesting before acting is what I would say there. So this is for Monday and Tuesday energy and kind of how we are starting off this week. And then I'll see if I might do this every day, which I feel can give us like a lot of support in our daily life and also a lot of insight. Okay, what's the potential of this day? How can I work with the energy instead of just feeling overwhelmed? We know there is a lot of energy, and especially now that we are here in the Sagittarius part of the wheel where the sun is transiting. I definitely feel it can be good to know how to relate to the energies that are turned on, we could say, for the collective. Thank you so much. See you again tomorrow.